Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars, welcome to another PlayStation review. Today's review is a retro review of sorts, and it is for Fahrenheit, the Quantic Dream game that was released way back in 2005. And now this is a game that was very experimental at the time, and this is a game that I remember buying on its day of release. There was a lot of hype and buzz around this game at the time. And I remember getting it and playing it consistently. I mean, I played it so many times when it was first released, this game. It was really innovative, really different. And because I was such a huge fan of movies, you didn't really get an awful lot of games at that time that were like interactive movies to some degree. You had a lot of FMV type games, but not games like this that were really cinematic, that kind of put you in a movie almost. So this was the start of everything that came after in regards to Quantic Dream. We got Heavy Rain in 2010 and Beyond Two Souls in 2013. And in my opinion, the greatest game they've ever done is Detroit Become Human, that came out just a couple of years ago, 2018, 2019, something like that. Brilliant game, and I generally speaking, I always look forward to a new Quantic Dream game because they're always inventive, the stories are generally always good, and they're always an awful lot of replayability factor with the games. Now, what do we get with Fahrenheit? Well, essentially, this is a game that is told from like three different perspectives, a little bit like Beyond Two Souls. Detroit Become Human, I suppose. That's told from a few different perspectives, the three different perspectives, and we get similar here. You get a character called Lucas, who you meet right at the beginning of the game, and he commits a murder in a bathroom, in a diner. What you have to do is try and cover up that as best as you can, hide the body, clean the blood, escape without being caught, because there's also a police officer in the diner that's heading to the toilet, so you've got limited time to do it. So you've got to really think on your feet, and then you've got to get out without leaving as much evidence as you can. And then the story shifts then to two detectives. Actually, you could argue then this is it's told from so many different perspectives. So it goes then to two detectives, and they then are investigating the crime scene, trying to find evidence, trying to find the murder weapon, things like that. And then it moves from scene to scene, and then as it moves on, you get the option to who to choose to interact first on the next scene. So you could choose one of the detectives, the other detective, or Lucas, and you've got different scenes that you need to play through. Now, what you get here in this game is, and if you've played a Quantic Dream game, you will feel definitely familiar playing this if you've never played it before. And you can buy it on the PlayStation Store and play it on a PlayStation 5. This is me actually playing it and recording it on PlayStation 5. It's not been updated or anything like that. It still feels exactly how I remember it feeling in regards to the controls. And that is the biggest issue with this game in regards to how it's poorly dated. The controls are janky as hell. The camera angles are massively frustrating, which is a problem for many of the Quantic Dream games, I suppose, but never more so than this game. You've got like speech, but as far as I can find anyway, there's no subtitle option, so you can't have subtitles. But you've got like speech options, and it gives you a limited amount of time to choose a response to a dialogue option with a character, and that will take the conversation in certain directions and things like that. But you've also got as well these awful quick time events in this game. They really are terribly done. And they drag this game down. There'll be moments in this game where they'll put random QTE events in there, and you've got to hit the analog sticks in a certain order. A bit like Simon Says. It always reminded me of Simon Says, this game, the QuickTime events. You've got up, left, down, right, and they're all different colours, so you've got to kind of match the patterns to successfully navigate the QTE event. And it just really doesn't work. And you could see it was very, very early stages here. It was very, very experimental, and you can see one now as a quick time event coming up now, and just got to match him. It says get ready, and then boom, it's off, and you think, okay. When you initially play it, you think, oh, do I wait until it shows me and then I copy it? No, you've got to do it as it shows it on screen, so you've got no time to prepare for it at all, really. So quite a lot of them you'll fail until you get really, really used to it. And they use the mechanic over and over again, and it does get a little bit tiresome, and it does drag the game down. And they almost put like these random events in the game, these weird random events as you're seeing now, just to put these quick time events in the game. Just doesn't work. The strength of this game are the characters and the story, and essentially the story is, and I don't want to spoil it if you've never played the game, but it's almost like an apocalyptic story. It develops into it, takes it in a really, really unusual direction, one that I wasn't expecting when I first played it. When this first came out, I probably played this game at least a half a dozen times. And I've played it again now to prep for this review. And while I thoroughly enjoyed aspects of this game, replaying it, it is fair to say that it has dated really quite poorly. The graphics are obviously nothing to speak home about, but I do remember them being impressive at the time when I first got the game. But now they have dated pretty poorly. The mechanics in the game haven't dated particularly well. And it does get you doing some really mundane tasks. I mean, the Quantic Dream games have always been renowned for that, I suppose. But it's really heavy here. I mean, it literally getting a drink of gin for somebody. Or, just some of them are really bad. Like, you're in, like, this computer records room, and you've got to, like, find this record, but you're claustrophobic. So you've got to kind of keep your breathing steady and all this kind of stuff, and it's just really dull stuff that the game just doesn't need and kind of drags it out. But for the most part here, what we do get is a wonderful revisit to a game that the beginning of a career really for Quantic Dream. It does still stand up. It would be really interesting actually to see if they could finally consider doing like a remaster for this. I would be interested in checking that out and updating all the controls and everything to make it more copeable for modern gaming audiences. But essentially what we get here is a game that hasn't dated particularly well, but you can pick it up really, really cheap, generally speaking, usually less than $5 in a PlayStation sale. So for that aspect, it is worth picking up if you've never played it before, and if you want to complete the Quantic Dream library of games, this is definitely one that you should be checking out. The story's really good. It is quite immersive, and it is quite good fun to play. So overall, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. It's dated poorly, but it is still worth checking out because you can pick it up at a cheap price. So I hope you like this retro review, me revisiting an old PlayStation 2 game. Let me know if there's any in the comments. Let me know in the comments if there's any you would like me to focus on in regards to retro PlayStation games, and I will try and get around to doing them. So thanks very much, everybody. I'll be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.